Alright team, welcome to your homework. We'll start with plugging in our BNC antenna distro. This is to get multiple units worth of receivers to connect to a single set of paddle antennas. You will see me here plugging the Shure UR4D into distro output B2, and then the Shure ULXD4D into RF output B1. BNC connectors are push and turn to lock into place. It might take some doing to get it to line up correctly. Moving on to the other side, the Shure UR4D antenna out A into the distro's RF output A2. And then same thing for the Shure ULXD4D antenna A into the distro output A1. Here you will see me on the struggle bus trying to get my hand into that small space and tighten the BNC connector correctly. Sorry to those of you with large hands. Good luck. Next up, we're going to get our longer cables to plug in our actual paddle antennas. These would be much further away from the receivers, probably splitting both sides of the stage. So antenna A would be stage left, and antenna B would be stage right, but in reality, they are behind the sound console. This would be one of those occasions in which you would probably have a very long antenna cable, maybe a 100-footer or a 150-footer, depending on what your venue looks like. To get audio out of our ULXDs, we are going to go Dante into a network switch that is by the iMac. This will also be for us to get into Wireless Workbench on the ULXDs. The Shure URs are also going to want a network connection into the network switch, but for Wireless Workbench only. It is not Dante compatible. Over at our network switch, we have our connection to the iMac, to the UR4D, to our digital console, the M7CL48 channel, and our Shure ULXD4D. Because our UR4D is analog only, we're going to have to run some XLR cables into the back of the board, plug that into input 1 and input 2. Omni 1 and 2 are going to be connected to UPM 1P 6 and 7. Not for meme reasons specifically, it just happened to work out that way. However, 6, 7. For our main outs, we are going to go Omni 15 and 16 so we can use the stereo fader on its default mode and plug it into our M audio speaker and our Mackie speaker. All right, here is your chance to try out Wireless Workbench for yourself with working receiver units. First thing, we need to make sure that Wireless Workbench is pointing out the correct Ethernet port of our iMac. It could be going out Wi-Fi, it could be going out a USB-C adapter, but it is going out just the regular Ethernet port. Click on the Spectrum tab. We need to load an Exclusions file, which includes the frequencies being used by shows in the building, such as Servant of Two Pizzas and the show about gangsters! ! While we're in here, let's load local TV channel data via our zip code. And now we have lots of frequencies that are off limits, so we can do our first scan. Select your scan sources and pick ULXD, and then hit Scan Source. So it'll take a minute for the receivers to scan the area. I am speeding it up slightly so we can move on with our lives, but it really only takes a minute. And now we can select frequencies from inventory. It will pull up everything we have currently connected via Ethernet cables. We can hit Calculate to acquire new frequencies for our 4 transmitter units. Assign and Deploy will send these new frequencies straight to the receivers via the Ethernet cable. The body pack transmitters, however, will have to be synced via infrared. Press the sync button and line up the 2 IR boxes. You may have to do this more than one time if it's not lined up correctly. The process is largely the same for the UR transmitters, except you'll have to open up the battery flap to get to the IR receiver. press sync and do your best to line it up. I am lying on the floor right now, so I'm a little struggling in this video. But I managed to do it, and we can move into Dante Controller from here. We'll just need to give it a second to load. And here we have our M7 and our iMac and our Shure ULX transmitters. We have two of them. While I am in here, I notice that they still have the labels from a previous show. So I go in there and I try to change it to something more generic. Wireless 1 and Wireless 2. It's very common to have to delete information from somebody else's show left over. So there are a couple different menus in there that you should check out. You can also soft patch in there. I prefer the grid, so I'm going to do it in the grid. You may prefer to handle the soft patching via device info. So soft patch ULXD4D 1 and 2 into the M7 Dante card 1 and 2. I am going to also clean up old routing from something that was left over from before. Maybe it was you, maybe it was me, maybe it was me. Either way, we don't need Dante Virtual Sound Card for the purpose of this exercise. And now for everybody's favorite thing, soft patching. Input channel 1 goes to Dante slot 1-1, and input channel 2 is Dante slot 1-2. Input 3 is our analog URs plugged into input 1. Input 4 is our other UR plugged into analog input 2. Some relabeling to do is input channel 9, make it reverb left. Input channel 10 is reverb right. 11 is going to be effect left. And 12 is going to be effect right. Mix 1, relabel it as reverb send. Mix 2 is effect send. UPM 6 is mix 3. UPM 7 is mix 4. Remove the soft patch to Omni 1 and Omni 2 so we don't double assign things. Soft patch mix 3 and mix 4 to Omni 1 and 2. Those are our UPMs. Alright, click the rack button. Change FX1 to mix 1 reverb send. And change FX2 to mix 2 effect send. Move the return to channel 9 and channel 10. Move the second return to 11 and 12. Click on the center part to choose a new effect for Rack 6. You have a lot of choices here. I'm going with the mono delay. Going back to your inputs, we're going to route them to the FX sends. I want to set all of them to post fader. Mix 1 through 4, all post. Route ULXD 1 to mix 1. Do the same for input 2. Input 3 and 4 are the UR1s, and they are both going to go to mix 2. UPM 6 is going to be the left part of our return, 9 and 11. 10 and 12 are going to go to UPM 7 on mix 4. Good work. Now for the testing part. You'll be sending dry signal to your mains and wet signal to UPM 6 and 7 behind you. Here's some footage of me trying it out while the a cappella women sing their little hearts out. From their 2022 album, here is the University of Chicago's all-female a cappella group with their rendition of Hope Set Free. Their 2026 album will surely be a smash, and if it isn't, we can all blame Dylan and Brian and the Behringer X32.
I found myself in my melodies. I sing for